Yes, everyone, what is going on? I just want to jump on to do a reaction to, obviously, the Erik Ten Hag news that he's been sacked. I haven't really been doing anything recently about United. It's been very tough, just the way everything is going. I don't really have the head for it. Of course, I have a little baby at home as well, so it's just hard to find the time. And then when I do have the time, it's actually just been so frustrating. Now, first of all, I'm going to say Erik Ten Hag, I actually really liked him and I didn't want him to be sacked. I didn't want it. And not because he was good. I don't think he was good enough. But I just feel like this manager getting sacked every few years thing just needs to stop. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of a manager coming in and then, you see signs and you think, oh, you're onto something here. Because that's what I did think. I thought we were onto something. Winning the Carabao Cup final and then winning the FA Cup final. Now, that season was obviously terrible. We came 8th, but we did win the FA Cup final against City, so it did give me a bit of happiness. Not good enough, but still, to win the FA Cup, it felt great. And I did feel like we were onto something with Erik Ten Hag. Sorry, there's bangers going off in the background. I thought we were onto something. I felt that this season we've at times underperformed, but at the same time, there was moments in games where I thought, oh my God, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And we just couldn't finish. We couldn't score the goals. And then as well, when we concede certain goals, it was always sloppy mistakes. A lot of the time, it's the back post. Like Diogo Dalot, you have to, he's playing out of position on that side. But at the same time, the goals that were going in were very, very sloppy. We did seem to kind of fix it up a little, but the same problems occurred. We weren't scoring goals, regardless of the chances created. It just didn't seem like it was working. I get it. We don't have time to wait. We're 14th in the league. Europe has been absolutely embarrassing. So I get it. This is a performance-based industry. It's not happening. And they have to sack the manager because they can't sack all the players. I get it. It's just frustrating. Like, I know this has to happen. I know this is the only move. It's not the right move. It's the only move. Like, what else can they do? All we can hope for is that there's that new manager bounce and the players actually fucking play. Because let's face it, the players that we have, some of them not good enough. For instance, Anthony, absolutely terrible. So I don't know where he's going to stand now. But anyway, some of them have just not performed. Have they down tools? I think so. I do think so. Not all of them, some of them. Are some of them a little injured and maybe prolonging it because they really just can't be arsed? Are some of them waiting because they know it's only a matter of time before he gets sacked, and then they'll jump right back into where they were before and start performing? I do feel like a lot of players have dropped a minute. I do feel like players have down tools. But I've also felt that there have been players that have been playing for him and they're just not good enough. Diogo Dalot is a player that I do really like, but he seems to just, like, that miss yesterday and then the mistakes. Again, playing out of position, I get it. But there's sometimes I see him and I'm like, oh, what a player. And then other times I'm like, is he good enough? But I like, he's a player that I think is playing for the manager. He's just things aren't going his way. Let's say he gave youngsters their time. He's given Garnacho a lot of trust. Kobe Mainu, who's been brilliant, not so much this season, but he has been brought in and he's so young still. But Garnacho in particular, I think he's done amazing. I think Rashford has been such a letdown. And in these times, you'd expect Rashford to step up, but he just isn't. So I don't really know what's going on, but he's in behind me here. Obviously, I'm a Rashford supporter, but sometimes I feel like he should just leave. We should get rid of him because I don't know. I feel like we're waiting too long for him to show what he's got. And again, performance-based industry. Are you performing? I don't think so, unfortunately. So yeah, it's just tough. But Erik Ten Hag, I think, like, his win percentage of the time that he's been here was like 52%. So Sir Alex was 65%. obviously the best and the longest serving manager. Then Jose Mourinho was 54% his win percentage, and then Erik Ten Hag 52. It's not that bad. Jose had less games also. I think he had like 80 games. Ten Hag has had like 100 and something. But just the draws and the losses, particularly the losses, I think he's lost 27 games and drawn a lot. So yeah, like when you look at percentage wise, it's not that bad, but the other managers around them just got sacked. And again, it's Manchester United. If you're sitting 14th in the table, it kind of speaks for itself. You do have to go. And it's the earliest they've sacked a manager in a season ever. Like, obviously, time-wise, he's been here for a few years, but like in the season, it's only really the end of October. So the league hasn't started that long ago. But yeah, disappointing because I really liked Erik Ten Hag. I thought he was going to bring a bit of control to the club in terms of the players, get them under the reins and just kind of get those egos out, but it just hasn't worked. I feel like we definitely have a lot more to do, and there's players that need to go. I feel like we're going to have these same issues while those players are here. So yeah, some of these players are just outliving another manager, and yeah, I just think this cycle, like I'm sick of it. I'm not even thinking about our next manager. Obviously, I've heard from all the news that Almiron, or whatever his name is, from Sporting Lisbon, they're hoping to get him. And then you saw the whole Xavi thing with his wife posting a picture with the kid wearing a United jersey. That could be absolutely nothing. Xavi, great manager, didn't really do it at Barcelona. But I like him, but I can't even think about managers coming in. Don't really know enough about this Almiron guy. But yeah, I'm just like Ruud van Nistelrooy, interim manager. That won't be for long. Clearly, they're obviously looking to try get a new manager in right away. We still have a lot in the league to go. So yeah, I think the longer they keep Ruud in, it would be just writing off the season. But they didn't have time to waste, like, with the way things were going. I get it had to be done. But I am very, very disappointed. More so disappointed in the players because I feel like they've just been absolutely shocking this season. A team full of individuals. I've always said it about PSG. PSG were a team of just big stars. Sorry, I don't feel very well. You can probably hear it in my voice. A team of big stars who just think, me, me, me. They're playing for the name on the back of the shirt, not the crest on the front, or the crest here. So yeah, I just feel like Man United have a lot of players like that who are just in it for themselves. They're trying to score those goals instead of, like, I'd rather put in some worldy assists and get credit. And, some of our players are just like, I want to score all the goals, doing all this stupid stuff. And then even Bruno Fernandes, who I absolutely adore, he's been terrible this season. And he's just, some of the passes that he does, just giving away possession so often. And he's our most creative player, one of the most creative players in the league, but it turns to nothing. And some of those passes are like, well, hang on, like even the best of the best couldn't control those. So you have to think, is it a really, really good pass, or is it just being kind of wasteful and chancing your arm because it's not working out? And then, of course, the wasted chances. Again, the Delot miss yesterday, hitting the post, absolutely smashing the ball instead of just placing it, composing yourself and just place it. We're trying to score worldy goals. We need to just go back to basics and just put it in the back of the net with whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually going on a rant now about so much, probably because I haven't spoke about United in so long. But I was talking to my friend literally just before the news broke about Erik Ten Hag. I was on the phone to him, and I was like, oh, what do you think about the match yesterday? And he was saying, oh, Erik Ten Hag has to go. I was like, oh no, like I don't want that. And literally I hung up the phone. I went onto Instagram, and United had put out the post. I was like, no way. I can't believe it. I was not expecting it. Not today. I know losing to West Ham, we shouldn't have lost to them. But we've been in a bad place. I didn't think it would be now. I thought they might wait, see how it goes, but obviously not. They just need to get it out, get him out, and start ASAP, because again, we don't have time to waste. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know how you're feeling about this, because obviously it's very up in the air. I feel like a lot of people are delighted that he's gone, and then there's a lot of people who are in the same boat as me that just feel kind of sorry for him, and feel like the players let him down, especially the players that he brought in, like, from maybe this season, last season, players that he might have known, players that he probably thought he could rely on, who have just been not great or not nearly good enough to be at Manchester United, like Anthony. Yeah, I feel like they definitely let him down. So I'd like to know how you feel. Are you happy? And what do you think about the new manager coming in? Is it going to be Almiron or Xavi? Who do you want? Please don't say Gareth Southgate, please. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you for the next one.